If you're a dessert fiend and kindred spirit to Bugs Bunny, then check out the results of this mashed taste test as we rank store-bought carrot cake from worst to best. Even at its worst, carrot cake is still cake. And if you've got a sweet tooth, how can you pass up cake? But it turns out that if you search hard enough, you'll find a bummer of an offering that could make you question your entire taste for pastries. And sadly, as it turns out, the Just Desserts Carrot Cake Cupcake fits this disappointing description. Sold at Target Superstore locations, this handsome sweet plays the part, sitting in its plastic bubble with a tartan ribbon wrapped down the front like a necktie. Even the full coif of frosting sits high and proud, covering nearly the entire top of the cake. But once you split the ribbon and crack open the case, you'll find out how deceiving looks can be. For one thing, the cake itself is so dry that even the frosting can't salvage it. This also means the cake is crumbly, so it's a mess to eat, especially if you try to break it into smaller pieces. Maybe this is due to storage issues or shelf life, even though the label suggests that it should be fresh and tasty. But the flavor is so artificial that even if it were moist enough to be appealing, it would still be a loss. Kroger generally stocks the bakeries of its retailers with top-tier baked goods. They're pretty much always impressive in terms of the quality of ingredients, execution, and flavors. So when it turned out that this bakery fresh goodness carrot cake from a Fry's food store was less than charming, it was actually stunning. Where is the lush texture of the sponge, the creamy consistency of the frosting, or the bright spice flavor? Maybe it had all been used up in the other bakery items, because none of it can be found in this carrot cake. The disappointment is even greater when you consider the sweet decorations on top. The ivory buttercream frosting comes garnished with sharply defined rosettes and a squat orange carrot in the center. The whimsical display suits the diminutive round cake, which contains 6 portions. If only the taste and the texture were suitable for carrot cake lovers. Considering all this, it's hardly surprising that it has only a 2-star average rating from the reviews on Fry's website.
It's like thanks, but no thanks.
Natural grocer Sprouts boasts quite the well-stocked bakery section, so it makes perfect sense that carrot cake is part of their selection. Rubicon Bakers provides miniature, multi-layered carrot cakes that catch the eye with their decorative flair and winsome size that's perfect for a party of 4. The temptation to grab one to take home and unwrap it is pretty powerful, but we recommend thinking carefully before you do that. Simply put, Rubicon's conception of a carrot cake doesn't have a ton of character. If you don't take notes while tasting it, then you'll probably end up forgetting about it completely. The frosting is nice and sprightly at least, and there's a central layer of it, as well as a cake crumb shell around the exterior for a rustic garnish. But the crumbs are as blah as the cake beneath the frosting, and this little treat costs in the neighborhood of $8.50, depending upon the location, so it's not exactly money well spent. The lesson here is clear. Don't eat with your eyes. Instead, eat with your taste buds and find a better cake to indulge in.
I can do better!
The baked goods at Sam's Club are always impressive to behold, if not always delicious to eat. It may be due to the constant demand for the bakery department to churn out fresh products throughout the day. Or it could be the recipe chosen by the corporate bigwigs that keeps their Members Mark carrot cake from being more of a sensation. The sponge is so subtle that there's almost no discernible spice flavor or carrot texture. The blend is delicate and bland, with just a wheat-like taste in desperate need of a cinnamon ginger punch. The frosting is no more fantastic than the sponge, while the sprinkling of walnut pieces that adorn the top is the strongest taste that comes through. If you pass by the refrigerated bakery case in Sam's and spy this tuxedo-style carrot cake, you'll be captivated by its appearance. It's a long bar of 3 bare-sided layers, with frosting between each as well as on top. But don't be fooled by this pretty pic or its 12 servings priced at about $17, depending on the location. It's one of the least tasty carrot cakes in the patch. Warehouse shoppers can likely find a better carrot cake at Costco instead. Nothing Bundt Cakes is known for, naturally enough, offering premium Bundt cake creations in various sizes. And for an extra bit of whimsy, they're all adorned with a spider-shaped drapery of frosting or a sweet star-shaped puff. carrot cake is a unique offering in the Nothing Bundt Cakes catalog. It's not decadent and showy like double chocolate or red velvet. Instead, it's rather homey and comforting. Anyone looking for a workable take on carrot cake will find that this rendition is recognizable and even refreshing. If you dig in, you'll discover a very light honey-flavored sponge, topped with subtle buttercream rather than an overpowering cream cheese frosting. Furthermore, the dense moistness of the Bundt shape made it easy to enjoy a hefty slice.
Oh, I love Bundt cake! Heads up!
You might hope that Nothing Bundt Cakes would offer a more exciting bite for a cake that serves 2 at most. Plus, this is more of a specialty cake store rather than a full grocery, so it should really rise all the way to the top of the heap. Sadly, though, there are better options available elsewhere at more attractive prices. Albertsons offers an elevated version of carrot cake that's swanky enough to warrant the word artisan in the title. In this case, it isn't just an advertising ploy. A single slice of this 3-layered cake is as lovely as anything you might find at a fancy wedding, thanks to the richly colored sponge layers with heaps of creamy frosting between. Crumb coating around the edge adds a decorative touch, while breaking up the outer frosting texture just enough. A single slice serving was used for this taste test, but availability may vary by location. In this case, the flavor is almost as special as the appearance. Albertsons' Artisan carrot cake concept leans heavily into the molasses end of the spectrum, with a uniquely caramel-like essence that is absolutely decadent. The frosting capitalizes on vanilla lavished with coconut for a combination that isn't really present in the other carrot cake selections. The additional texture is certainly welcome, considering the softness of the sponge and the lush fluff of the frosting. All in all, this is a fun spin on carrot cake that could maybe use a bit more carrot, though nothing else. Kroger's signature brand, Private Selection, aims to elevate the idea of store-labeled products, including various baked goods. A wholesome array of packaged treats is sold under the label, but the carrot cake is a standout that deserves to be spotlighted on its own. It's not quite the best of the best when it comes to store-bought carrot cake, but it's pretty close. First, there's the incredibly moist, dense texture, and then there's the raisins and walnuts that are featured in just the right sizes and concentrations. As for the carrots, they're enough to be assertive, but not so much that you can't enjoy the spices in the sponge. And then there are the generous quantities of tangy frosting, pressed between the layers and slathered on top, decorated with a tasteful touch of caramel drizzle. It all works incredibly well together, which makes it impossible to choose a single aspect to highlight. So head to your nearest Kroger, grab some of their carrot cake, and find out for yourself.
I'm moving, bossy boots.
The presentation of Albertsons single-slice carrot cake is rather unassuming, but don't let it slip past you. It might be flying under the radar, but it knows what it's doing. The frosting is a little more yellow than expected, and the carrot on top is tiny and a bit drizzly, but none of that matters once you take a bite. The sponge is prominently flavored with cinnamon and frosted with a light buttercream flavor and just a bit of cream cheese tang. There are also enough chopped nuts scattered throughout the cake to keep your teeth busy while accenting the cinnamon with a nutty warmth. Truth be told, you might need a few bites before you can reach a definitive conclusion. Every subsequent taste should help you realize just how much this is carrot cake done right. For a well-proportioned slice, you can probably find this great cake priced at about $3, depending on your nearest Albertsons location. This may come as a bit of a surprise, but the Walmart bakery offers quite the deliciously sweet carrot cake. Even the plump carrot decoration on top offers more style than you might expect. The flavor includes enough carrot to make itself known without being too much. The sponge itself is tender and very cinnamon forward. In contrast to most of the other choices on this list, it's enough to remind you that the best carrot cakes make proper use of spices as well as carrots. Overall, there's just enough moisture and tangy flavoring for some satisfying nibbles. Walmart sells full-sized versions of this cake as well, though the single slice could be split in halves or quarters and still be enough for a modest snack. If you have some extra cash to spare, you can pick up a 5-inch round that serves 6 for about $6 or a 2-layer round that serves 12 for about $12. The customer reviews on Walmart's website are nothing special, but just ignore them. This cake is great.
I'm great!
The biggest surprise in this carrot cake ranking comes from Carlo's, which took our top spot. This is a brand found at Walmart as a boxed third-party cake among the in-house baked goods. The single-slice packaging is deceptive upon first viewing, as the triangular plastic case looks like something you'd find a deli sandwich stuffed into. It's not exactly large enough to hold the cake slice without squishing it, which isn't exactly a very promising presentation. Despite that, not only is Carlo's carrot cake worth trying, but it blows the rest of the list away by a country mile. This makes more sense once you know that the owner of Carlo's bakery is Buddy Valastro, aka TLC's original cake boss. Once you bite into this cake, you'll discover that the deep and rich flavor is nearly overpowered by the moist texture. Ultimately, though, they help keep each other in balance. The frosting is cream cheese perfection, doled out generously enough for thorough satisfaction. Just a single bite or two should be enough to win you over, but you won't want to stop there, so you'll probably keep eating until the entire oversized 3-layer slice is gone. Once you look at the now empty package, you'll surely want to head back for another slice or even the full-sized version. There's no doubt about it. When it comes to store-bought carrot cake, Carlo's is the best of the bunch.